But I love Jack Flaherty. Again, he just turned 25 in October. So he's a little different than Blake Snell because Snell's already 28. So that might be the best slider in the National League, by the way, when it's on. Very good athlete, comes with very good makeup. He could lead his staff. I doubt the Cardinals sign him long-term, and if they don't look like legit contenders at some point entering a season, whether it's this season, next season, over the summer, they could float Flaherty out there just to kind of see what they could get for him, to see what happens. They're not real big on giving big long-term fat extensions or even signing big giant free agents. All that. They don't do that a lot. Every once in a while they'll do something like that, but not often. So I'm very curious about that scenario and how that develops with Jack Flaherty in St. Louis. Other than Flaherty, we've talked a little bit about Luis Castillo because he was rumored to be available this winter. I wouldn't call him readily available because the Reds don't need to trade him. It's basically, we'll trade him if you give us what we want. And we heard the rumors last week about the Yankees and the Reds wanting Gleyber Torres, just to give you an idea what he might be worth to, or what at least what the Reds think he's worth, what it might take to get him. Herman Marquez comes to mind as well in Colorado. Neither the Reds nor the Rockies appear to be imminent contenders at this point, at least for 2021 and maybe even for 2022, which may suggest maybe at some point, maybe by the deadline in 2022 at least, that they may try to net a big giant haul for their best starter. Again, we talked about Castillo a little bit. Probably not going anywhere right now because the market's a little bit light on him right now, but 95 to 99 mile an hour fastball. The sinking variety has been especially good for him. Slider that flashes plus, and a changeup that, in 2019 was freaking devastating. And it's been a consistently good plus pitch for him his entire Major League Baseball career to date. And that pitch has been the difference maker. When he was in the minors, it was like occasionally it looked good. It's kind of a 45-50 pitch right now, kind of projects to 50-55. It's been 60-65-70 his entire Major League career now. Has 3 years of control left, just like Flaherty. And Castillo is 28 years old right now. Could still be a very valuable trade chip at the deadline in 2021, in the off season between 21 and 22, or even the deadline in 2022. Still going to cost you a pretty penny, but it might be worth it. Marquez is interesting in a lot of ways. He's not quite the nasty stuff guy that Flaherty and Castillo are. He's going to be 26 in February, 4 days before I turn 1,000 years of age. But Marquez is signed through 2023 and has a very cheap option for 2024. This makes him more valuable than he would be otherwise because those numbers are significantly lower than what his arbitration numbers would have been. But it also makes him less likely to be moved unless Colorado decides pretty much everyone goes. I mean, we're talking about a club right now whose owner has come out and admitted, we're not going to be spending. And I don't know if we can keep our guys, and I don't think we can keep Trevor Story. I mean, he's made that mistake already. So if they go out and shop Trevor Story, because it sounds like re-signing him is not likely at all. He's in a similar situation as was Francisco Lindor in Cleveland. And it sounds like adding to their current talent pool by making trades or free agent additions that add to the payroll, that seems like it's out of the question. So maybe Trevor Story's available. And if that's the case, why isn't Nolan Arenado and Marquez also available? I mean, Marquez could help them rebuild quickly. If you're trading Story, let's ignore Arenado for a second, because I think the contract will tear down his value a little bit. If they traded him, they'd get a good trade. They'd make a good trade. They could. I don't trust their general manager, but they could make a good trade by trading Arenado, despite the fact that he's owed all that money. It's limited, but I don't think it's going to be on the level of, potentially trading Marquez because of the control years there. Like I said, 26 in February, controlled through 2024, 94 to 98, mixes in a sinker, 3 off-speed pitches, including a plus slider and a curveball. The changeup's firmly below average, and he only uses it about 5% of the time, but it's definitely there for him to show the hitter. I mean, the potential timing on those starters including Marquez hitting the trade market, makes it plausible that Seattle could be involved for that. Marquez, Castillo, Flaherty, those are just three that kind of pop up, as I was thinking about this question. So if you're looking for that kind of a situation, and it's not free agency, because free agency is really tough with starting pitchers. It really is.